So your kid wants to go to art school. I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you might be freaking out a little bit. Maybe you don't quite understand it. Maybe you don't think it's practical. Maybe you don't want to pay for it. You want the best for your kid, but you're just not sure that art school is it. Never fear. My name's Carissa. I'm a 30-something artist based in LA, and I'm here to tell you all about art school, its benefits, the reality of life as an artist, and how to support your child through it all. I want to preface that I'm not a parent. This video is made from the perspective of an artist, someone who went to art school, in an effort to give you a realistic look at what your child might experience and hopefully ease some of your fears and equip you with the tools to nurture your creative kid. I'm willing to bet that you might have a few or all of the following concerns. Number 1, a career in the arts is unstable. Number 2, it's a pipe dream and your kid is just gonna end up disappointed. 3, it's not practical because it's just a hobby. 4, art school is a waste of money. And 5, an art degree is worthless. I want to dissect each of these concerns and give you some resources that can help as well. I just want to say that I may not know your kid personally, but one thing I do know is if they're an artist, you're a lucky parent. Creativity is a gift, and though you may not understand it entirely, it will equip your child with a unique set of skills that will allow them to be successful and approach life with a different perspective. It's something to be celebrated. So the first concern you might have is a career in the arts is unstable. This is a valid concern. Is it easy to be a full-time artist? No. Does that mean that you should stop your child from becoming one? Also no. Art school is a great way to provide your child with some stability. Having a support system of fellow creative people, whether it's teachers, professors, peers, will be crucial to your child's career and life as an artist. Also, depending on the art form, they likely will need other collaborators to further their work. It all begins in art school. In addition, art schools do a much better job today of preparing their students for the job market than you might be aware of. There's an organization called SNAP. I don't know if my snap was loud enough. Was that loud? Oh, that's better. Let's try that again. Wait, I don't know if I should do it on the snap or do the snap after the snap. You know what I mean? There's an organization called SNAP. That was bad, see? You know what's funny? I can only snap with my left hand and I cannot snap with my right. And I can't. But this I can. This I can. Anyway. SNAP. SNAP stands for Strategic Arts Alumni Project. That's right. 2 P's in there. 2 P's in the SNAP. It's SNAP. SNAP gathers, analyzes, and reports on survey data from graduates of art and design schools. It represents the largest database available of the lives and careers of arts alumni. One SNAP project, titled Forks in the Road, surveyed over 13,000 individuals that received either a graduate or undergraduate degree in an artistic field. 92% of arts alumni who wish to work currently are, and 81% find employment soon after graduating. On the flip side, 57% of artists hold 2 jobs concurrently. Much of this has to do with the lack of infrastructure in our society to support artists. If you're worried about your child having to work multiple jobs and eventually leading to burnout, this could be a potential challenge. But then I ask you to look at your own work and the challenges that come with it. Even if you're not in an artistic field, do you ever feel burnt out at your job? No job is perfect and without its challenges. I also want to direct you to the recent layoff statistics, which are summarized nicely in an article that I'll link below. Did you know that 40% of Americans have been laid off in their life? The industry with the most layoffs in 2022 was professional and business services, with 2.12 million, compared to the arts at 366K. What I'm trying to get at here is there could be a variety of reasons why a job is unstable. Speaking from personal experience, I went to art school at Columbia College Chicago for filmmaking. I had no strong connections to Hollywood other than a small independent film festival that the town I was from would put on every year. Going to film school helped connect me with people in the industry that I wouldn't have otherwise had the chance to meet. Many of my professors were working in the industry simultaneously while teaching, and that's how I got a lot of my first jobs. I had one teacher who would just text a group of us when a set needed a PA, and that is literally how I got on the set of Chicago Fire to production assist for the first time. I also met peer collaborators whose projects I worked on and vice versa, and then we would help each other get jobs. Especially in filmmaking, who you know is crucial. Growing up, I never quite felt like I belonged, and going to film school gave me that sense of belonging that I had always craved. Giving your child the chance to be surrounded by like-minded people and things that they love could really open the whole world for them. So your second concern is that this is just a pipe dream. I don't know your kid's dream. It's possible they might want to be the next Picasso or the next Olivia Rodrigo or the next Scorsese. And yes, it's natural to want to protect them from a huge disappointment or the dangers of fame. Even I at one point wanted to be the next Miley Cyrus. Going to art school showed me that there are so many possibilities that could be equally fulfilling, if not more so. All I'm saying is there are options. And a lot of these options you might not know about and your child might not know about, and that's what art school is for. It's okay for them to have big dreams, but they might find other dreams along the way. They could be working in a field that you find more suitable for them, and they could still be disappointed by not getting a promotion that they wanted or praised for a project that they worked hard on. According to the SNAP survey I mentioned earlier, 2/3 of respondents said that their first job was a close match to the kind of work that they wanted. This pipe dream has a pipeline, okay? So your third concern is that this is just a hobby. It's true that for many people, art is just a hobby. Maybe your kid is okay with that, or maybe they want to make some of their hobbies into careers. Especially when we're young, we're figuring out what we like to do, what we enjoy. It's only natural for us to want to pursue these things. And if you think that art school will ruin their hobbies in some way, think again. That's right, the same SNAP survey. 71% of art majors who are not professional artists continue to practice their art. Which brings us to your fourth concern. If I'm gonna be spending all this money on an art school and my child is not gonna end up a professional artist, what is the point? Again, if they go to a school that you deem more worthy for them and pick a major that you think is best, who's to say that they're gonna end up there? Who's to say that they're not gonna still find a way to be an artist? I know I felt an enormous amount of pressure trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. College is still a safe space for experimenting. So if your child is really passionate about something and really knows what they want to pursue, why not give them that safe space and that opportunity to do that? And if you're worried about debt or student loans, that's affecting students regardless of their major. I should also mention that 90% of arts graduates are happy with their training, and 76% say that they would make the same choice again. But your fifth concern is that an art degree is worthless. This one I've heard a lot, and I think it ties into a lot of the views that society has of artists, which ties back to the starving artist belief. If you want to learn more about that, I'm going to link a video below that goes into the whole history. A 2003 national study done by the Urban Institute reports that society perceives art as frivolous or recreational. So if you think an art degree is worthless, you're not alone, but you are, my friend, misinformed. SNAP reported that of those currently working outside of the arts fields, 54% said that their arts training was still relevant to what they were doing. And 88% believe that thinking creatively, why can I say that word? Thinking creatively? I'm thinking of creativity and creatively, and it's coming out creativity. Not right. 88% believe that thinking creatively is key to being successful at work. So there's a debate in current primary and secondary education with STEM versus STEAM. So STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. It was a government program that was created under the Obama administration. It was born out of a concern that future generations lacked critical thinking skills to be successful. STEAM includes arts into the mix. Although STEM supporters say that creativity is a huge part of STEM. Still, arts programs are notorious for getting cut at primary and secondary levels, especially in lower income areas, because they're not part of standardized testing like science or math. If you want to read more about this debate, I recommend checking out a study done by Miranda Miles Jackson, which I'll link below. The interesting thing is that in the No Child Left Behind arts education section, data reveals that students who participated in sequential arts programs actually performed significantly better on the verbal and mathematics sections of the SAT than their non-participating peers. The arts are not worthless. Let me say this again for the people in the back. The arts are not worthless. Creativity is an asset in a career in the arts, but it's also an asset in any career that your child ends up in. If you've gotten this far, I hope that means that you're ready for the next step, which is how to support your creative child. You might be coming around to the idea a little, or maybe not at all. If you are coming around, I want to make sure that you understand the challenges that your child is going to face by pursuing an artistic career. And I want to offer you some tools that can help support them through this. There are 4 areas that I've identified that I think will be crucial in helping you nurture your budding artist's creative path. Emotional support, marketing skills, budgeting skills, and validation. So number 1, emotional support. So there's a book that you can check out called The Cambridge Handbook of Creativity and Emotions. It shows that artists tend to be emotionally sensitive. It also summarizes that creativity takes a long time and requires us to manage emotional ups and downs. If they come to you with some of these stressors of being an artist, listen and encourage them. And more importantly, encourage them to put it into their art. Art can be a great outlet to process some of their emotions and to make something beautiful out of it. Not only is your emotional support super crucial for them, but having the support of other artists will also be super important, especially in terms of the creative process. It's full of ups and downs. Some books I recommend on this subject that you could read would be Big Magic or Art and Fear. The emotional roller coaster that is creating is super normal, but if they don't have a community of artists who are experiencing the same things that they can talk to, they might feel really alone in that. Encouraging them to take classes, engage with a community, find a mentor, these are all ways that you can help support them. Even by sending them this channel, which helps to create a community of artists that can empower one another. The second thing that you can do to help your child in a career in the arts is find them some good marketing skills. In the 2003 study by the Urban Institute I mentioned earlier, most artists who are successful in obtaining recognition and compensation for their work have good marketing skills, or they work with some kind of intermediary. An intermediary can be defined as a union, a guild, any sort of art training program like a university or an art school. Citing my own experience in film school again, not only did professors and peers help me find work, but my school also had a portfolio center, which is where I made my website with the help of students who were studying to become graphic designers. It's where I got my business cards made, I got a logo made. These are all resources that art school provided for me so that I could market myself. So if you want to pick the best art school with your child, then make sure you're looking at programs that have a good infrastructure like this that can help your child market themselves in the real world. Maybe even encourage them to take some marketing classes. So this leads us to number 3, which is budgeting skills. As I mentioned earlier, 57% of artists hold 2 jobs concurrently. Many artists are self-employed or freelance, which means it could be a couple months between jobs. So it's crucial to instill good savings and budgeting skills in your child, or at least give them the resources where they can educate themselves in this area. Remind them that it's okay to have a day job while they get their art off the ground. Struggling to pay bills can be a huge creativity killer. Another thing to keep in mind, and I'll go back to the Urban Institute study here, the extent to which an artist can quilt together arts-related work depends on the market that's available to them, their resourcefulness, and their philosophy around artwork. These are all things that art school can help them get clear on. So the 4th area of support that your child is going to need as an artist is validation. That same old study by the Urban Institute emphasizes the importance of validation. It can take many forms: formal, informal, direct, indirect, money, not money. Peer recognition was noted as being essential. And also just by encouraging them yourself to share in class or share with a mentor, share with a friend, even just sharing with you. And it's more important that you're encouraging even if you think that their art sucks. Art is incredibly vulnerable, but like anything, it takes practice to get better. And let's face it, they're gonna be less likely to practice if they have a critical voice in their head telling them that they suck all the time. There will be plenty of time for them to get feedback and to improve their art. Your job is to be their cheerleader and focus on the positives so you can help build their confidence as an artist. And when they get a not so great critique, be a shoulder for them to lean on. And once again, encourage them to keep creating art. Lastly, I want to address one last question you might have. Maybe I have convinced you that art school is the right thing for your child, but your financial situation does not support it. So the question is, can your child be an artist without art school? And the answer is yes. If you are committed to nurturing your child's creativity, you can look into scholarships, sign them up for community programs, reach out to nonprofit organizations, and keep encouraging their creativity and try to get them in contact with people in that field, however you can and within your means. Even checking out books for them at the local library can go a long way. In conclusion, I hope that this video helped ease some of your fears. If you have any lingering questions, feel free to drop a comment below and make sure you like and subscribe. And finally, if you have an artist as a kid, congratulations. You have a great kid. They're gonna do great things. That's all.